Learners, the other day we learned every single mode on the ukulele, and you seemed to enjoy it. And I asked you, would you like to learn how to harmonize it? Meaning, would you like to learn all the chords that go with every single mode? And you said,
"How nigga, that sound like a real good time. I want to learn all them chords and all them modes, man. We gotta go ahead and be done do that."
So here we are to oblige. With new ukulele every single Wednesday and Saturday. Subscribe if you like this kind of content. Never miss a lesson. As always, a full breakdown with this one by becoming a Patreon. Links up here in the notes. That will include some extra information, extra chord progressions, and a little slightly more in-depth analysis that we can't cover here in the video. Plus tabs for all the previous lessons. Additional links in the description, including my email if you want some one-on-one lessons. Let's do it. Grab the ukulele, brain attention span. Follow me on in, and let's harmonize these modes. Okay, so the first mode is up, and the first mode is the Ionian mode, which is the major scale. Do 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 do. C D E F G A B C O2 013 023. And this is what I'm going to show you how to harmonize a scale. So when you're harmonizing a scale, what you do is you play a note in the scale, C. You skip the next note, which would be the D. Play the next note, which is E. Skip the next note, F. Play the next note, G. So you get C, E, G. Those three notes together create a C major. And you do this throughout the entire scale. The next one will be D. Skip the E and play the F. Skip the G and play the A. You get D, F, A. Those three notes are D minor. If you do this for the entire scale, you continue on to get E minor, F, G, A minor, and B diminished. Meaning those 7 chords are built from this major scale. That's why when you create chord progressions with these chords, this scale works perfectly for it. Because this scale literally is what created those chords. That's why they go hand in hand. That's why they work together. And that is how you harmonize a scale. Now we're going to do that with all the modes. So in terms of suggested chord progressions for major is very easy to do because it's the strongest resolution and it's very easy to get C to sound like home bass. Nevertheless, let's look at a couple example chord progressions of C Ionian or C major. Again, our chords, C is our 1, D minor is 2, E minor 3, F 4, G 5, A minor 6, and then B diminished is our 7, and the diminished has that little circle up there too. So using those chord progressions, let's go ahead and play a 1, 5, 6, 4. C, G 5, A minor 6, F is 4. We're just going to use down, down, up, up, down, up for all these progressions to keep it simple. C, G, A minor, F. This is maybe the most popular pop progression right now for the major scale. Well, you done and I bet you felt it. Try to keep it cool, but hot that you melted. Find myself in times of trouble. Mother Mary comes to me. And then Stand By Me. You know, it's just so many pop songs, all right? One other one. Let's do 1, 1. Let's do 1, 1, 2, 5. So we're going to get C, C, D minor, G. 1, 1, 2, 5, and 1. If you go 2, 5, 1, 1 instead, that's a very popular jazz progression. It's also the progression to the Maroon 5 song, Sunday morning. However how that song goes, Sunday morning. So we're going to keep it light with the major scale. The major scale is what I promise everyone's more familiar with. Why don't we get into the bones of this lesson? Let's get into some of these other modes that you use less of. Next one was Dorian. Remember, this is our minor scale, but it has the 6th interval instead of a flat 6. So it's C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, C. E flat making it minor, the B flat, the flat 7, but we have that A, and the A is kind of what makes Dorian special. Okay, now, when you go through that process of harmonizing the chords like I talked about, you're going to get a C minor for your 1, D minor for your 2, E flat 3, F is your 4, G minor is your 5, your 6th chord is A diminished. These are just really kind of awkward shapes to play these diminished chords. There are some shapes that are a little easier than others to get around it, but in general, it's just not a fun chord on the ukulele, A diminished. And then your 7th chord is actually a flat 7, it's your B flat. Now, the quintessential Dorian progression is a 1-4. And so for us, it's going to be C minor, F major, C open 3-3-3, F major 2-0-1-0. Let's do the strum pattern I talked about we'd use for all of them. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. This is kind of the one that you see all the time with Dorian, the 1-4. In fact, it's sometimes referred to as the Dorian vamp. So another one that I really like is 1-3, your E flat, 0-3-3-1, then F and back to C minor. Now, if you're playing on a piano or a guitar, you have the power of inversions, meaning with this F chord here, you could actually play an F/C and get the C in the bass. And those inversions also help kind of anchor the idea that it would be Dorian as well. Even though technically this is an F/C because the C's are lowest frequency. But I really don't want to get into inversions for the ukulele because it's just not a very practical way to think about the ukulele. But just so you know, if you have a friend that's playing bass, tell them to go ahead and really, anchor some ideas with that C note. Next mode, Phrygian. This one is with a flat 2nd. We also have a flat 3rd, flat 6, and a flat 7. So this one is the 0-1-3. 1-3-4 1-3. Okay, and the chords for this one, your 1 chord are C minor, followed by a D flat. You can either bar the 1st fret and get your pinky here, or you can play up here, which would be 6-5-4-4. E flat, we've seen. You can also, though, take that D flat up 2 frets and get 8-7-6-6. F minor, 1 open 1-3. G diminished, which I play like this, which is going to be 4-2-4. A flat, bar the 3rd fret, get your middle finger on the 4th fret of the E string, ring finger on the 5th. That comes from the F shape. And a B flat minor, barring the 1st fret, ring finger on the 3rd. 3-1-1-1. And that is how we harmonize the Phrygian. One really good one just highlights this half step. You would use it to highlight basically all the half step movements that you have in here. And that would be C minor, D flat. So for this one, the C minor shape we're going to go ahead and bar the 3rd fret and get our ring finger on the 5th. And we're going to play this D flat, which is going to be 6, 5, 4, 4. And a scale sounds great over this. Another fun one we can do with this one would be C minor, D flat, B flat minor. So what we're going to do here is 2 strum patterns on C minor, 1 on D flat, 1 on B flat minor. Another one that I like with this one is C minor, D flat, E flat, D flat. So instead of doing this E flat shape, we're going to take this D flat and move it up 2 frets where we get 8, 7, 6, 6. We go. And this is another great Phrygian one. Maybe my favorite. Phrygian is hard to resolve. I think Phrygian is of the ones that you can play, unlike Locrian that you can actually use. I think Phrygian's the hardest. Lydian, the brightest and happiest, they say. This is a raised 4th, pushing our F up here. O, 2, O, 2, 3, O, 2, 3. Okay, and our chords are going to be 1 is our C major, 2 is D major, 3 is E minor, 4 is F sharp diminished. Just take that G diminished and move it down. You get 1 or 3, 1, 3. 5 chord is a G, which is nice. 6 is an A minor, which is nice. And then 7 is a B minor as opposed to a B diminished. So there is a lot of familiarity with the C major scale, but our D minor becomes a D major. We don't have an F chord. Our 4 chord is this kind of weird diminished. So we just don't have a 4 chord. The quintessential, the most popular is 1, 2. 2 strum pattern. We're going to do 1, 1, 2, 2. 2 on the C, 2 on the D. This vamp is great. So if you're practicing this scale, just record yourself going back and forth from a C to a D. And once you get that looping, have some fun with it. Another good one is 1, 2, 7, 1. So we're gonna go C, D, B minor, and C. Lydian. I always kind of thought of this as the Star Wars or the Jurassic Park mode. Mixolydian is another familiar one that just has just one modification. Our B becomes a B flat. So our 7 becomes a flat 7. O, 2, O, 1, 3, O, 1, 3. All right, so the C7 becomes the 1, which can be a little tricky if you extend it. So let's harmonize the Mixolydian. C, D minor, E diminished, 7, 6, 7. Followed by an F major, G minor for the 5 chord, which is fun, A minor, and then we have a B flat. A fun Mixolydian progression is a 1 flat 7 4 4. So we're gonna go C, B flat, F for 2. 1 flat 7 4 4. Another one that's fun is 1 5 4 7, and this goes C, G minor, F, B flat. Oops, I switched the F there, but it still sounded pretty good. So I made one mistake there, but you saw that the 1 4 5 7 also sounded nice. Next one, the minor scale. This is one we're familiar with. It's got a flat third. It's got a flat 7, but also a flat 6. That's why it's different than our Dorian. 0 2 3 1 3 4 1 3. C minor, or the C Ionian. I'm sorry, C Aeolian. Harmonizing this one, we get C minor, D diminished, E flat, F minor, G minor, A flat, B flat. So by now we've seen all those shapes, except for maybe that diminished. So we're starting to see some repetition in here. Now there's a lot of cool things that you can do with this one. I like, for example, the 1 7 4 7, which is going to be C minor, B flat, A flat, B flat. Now, of course, if you move the A flat up, it becomes a B flat as well. So you could go. You can also do C minor, G minor, 1 5. You can also throw in that 4, the F minor in there, and do something like C minor, F minor, G minor, C minor. F minor is kind of a clumsy chord. So the minor is the second easiest. Experiment with those chords. You can come up with a lot of different progressions there. The last one is the impossible Locrian. This one's got a flat second, flat third, flat fifth, flat sixth, and flat seventh. It's 0 1 3 1 2 4 1 3. When we harmonize it, we get C diminished as the 1 chord. Gross, right? We get D flat. Either one of those. E flat minor, which to play this one, we're going to have to kind of move this down and get that string involved there. So it's going to be 3 3 2 1. F minor, G flat, so it's taking our G, moving it down, bar the first fret, third fret of the G string, second of the E, move that up 2 frets, A flat, Then you also have a B flat minor. What's hard with this one is this is your 1 chord, and it never sounds resolved. So even if you were to be like, it never sounds finished. So the only song that I have ever heard of in this mode is Army. I think it's Army of One, Army of Something by Bjork. Go ahead and listen to it. I'll link it in the description. But this is one that, hey, if you have any chord progressions, leave them in the description, because you can't really resolve on the diminished chord. It's just too tense. So if you can't resolve on the diminished chord, you can never really resolve the song. So it never really resolves. So it never really finishes. I guess the only thing you could do is just C diminished. One thing you can do, though, is you can use this Locrian mode over diminished chords when you're jamming. If a song has a diminished chord, you can use that mode to play over the diminished chord before moving on. So you can use that like as a modal way to solo while you're playing. And there you go, folks. That is how you harmonize all 7 modes just in time for this overcast day to get too dark to record. All the chords that go with them, the scales, and some chord progressions. So loop them, jam them, feel them out, and I think we will probably do individual lessons on Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, minor, and well, maybe minor and major, probably not, because we've done a lot on just those. But those 4 modes, and really deep dive into soloing over them. All right, until next time, have a lovely day. Rock and roll. Life is good. Take care of yourself. Keep it modal, baby. Believe it or not, it's only 3 in the afternoon. Super overcast, and I just think that it's going to have a thunderstorm here, but by the time the thunderstorm gives up, I think it's going to be a little too late to film. So I apologize for the color schemes in this video. I know it's a little dark, but hopefully you were able to grab this information all the same. Tyler from 10 Thumbs Pro, new ukulele every Wednesday and Saturday. Think about becoming a Patreon, cheaper than a cheap cheeseburger. And I'll catch you, my friends, my Aeolians, Dorians, Ionians, Phrygians, Locrians. Wednesday and Saturday, Monday for guitar. Have a lovely day. Life is good. Yeah.